general appearance and aesthetic of these people. I don't think it's the last we'll see of the Dawnbrand Coilers. And we thank them for the donation of arms to our cause. Gestures at scimitars.
Yeah, you have like 20-something scimitars on them now.
Almost. You have, I think, 30 flat of various qualities.
Amber does begin animating Melvin and making it look like he slapped himself.
Do it again.
She gets a smirk on his face as he like dead face, like slap. And then she gets all the other guys to start punching him. She leaves Cloud alone though.
I could watch
Pretty
that all day.
privileged. Yeah.
I put clown makeup on him.
Punch, slap. So
Just get fucking beat
Right.
the hell up.
I think
If
I
I
might go
could,
to bed,
if I could
guys.
sending this mental image to
Oh,
Melvin,
stop.
priceless.
What was that, Kirsty?
So I might go to bed soon. Or night-ish, if that's alright, 'cause it's like almost 12.
If you don't have
That's
anything to add for Morgan's report, then that's absolutely fine.
I should have thought of that ahead of time. Shit.
I know. I realized like 2 minutes ago, but it's fine. I don't think so. I think Morgan will do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I have one question. Did you disclose the when? Did you disclose what you identified the creatures as? That they were.
I think she just closed it at the time, didn't she?
At the time. Okay, I just want a clarification on that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think I hid anything.
Okay, fair.
Or did I? No.
But yeah, that's it, Kirsty. You're up to speed on the Salamis.
Damn, like
Yeah, a lot of shit happened.
I know.
They almost
Finally
died.
get the face of
several times.
a person
Both of
Anushka
us.
definitely hates, even though she's never met him before. But that man bun though.
There you go. I wanted to do
Just
that.
shut up. Oh
I
god.
know, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Jesus
Got
Christ.
the Mickey Mouse logo.
Oh no, I see it.
Oh wait, no, can you guys
Yeah.
see this outline that he has actually?
Oh my god. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can see
you can
it.
see that. You can see the aura. Okay, just making sure.
Okay, I'm going to bed on that note. Goodbye, all.
Yeah,
See
I
you
think
later.
I
Kirsty.
head to bed as
All
well.
right, good night. Good night, you
Yeah.
two.
Good
night.
Good night,
night.
Ricky. Good night, Christy.
Good night.
Bye.
So I guess you just have to describe it predominantly to Fred, which makes sense given that he is one of the people that wasn't able to listen in.
That's fair.
Yes. So, Varric turns his attention to you. And of yours.
Okay. Do you want tactical analytical analysis or
I want your report delivered as you desire it.
excellent? Cool, because oh boy, unexpected. Lots of unexpected things. Where to start? Okay. Started by heading to Sundell, seemed the easier route than traveling through the entirety of the Twins. Time, safety, various different factors. And we were completely right. Went down south from Sindel, met at Rivercrest, not met at Rivercrest, stopped at Rivercrest, managed to get a ride from a ship that was leaving there, which saved us, I'm not a tracker, but a fair amount of time. Traveled from there to where my village was, without much difficulty, nothing really there, strangely enough. Thought it'd be much more difficult. We get there and we look around the area, day one, to try and figure out how to get down beneath where the village used to be. To be completely frank, I was more than a bit useless at this task, but Anushka proved to be very, very competent at it. We found a few locations, which took most of the day that we arrived. We slept, and during that I had a vision? A dream? Something, I'm not 100% sure. Of seeing... traveling through what I believed to be the village. Very, very slowly. In hindsight, I kind of understand why, but we'll get to that. And it was communing with a... In the dream, I ended up communing with a certain rock. a massive rock, mind you. There were massive stones everywhere, but this one specifically stood out in my mind. When I woke up,
I'm sorry.
yes.
A rock. Was there anything distinct about it other than its size?
Garth can't fully remember. I think it was marble, wasn't it? Or
It was, yeah.
it was marble, and it had some type of aura about it. I'm not very arcanely trained or mystically trained, but Tolis is, and took a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed.
I was wondering,
Go on.
thinking on it now, and seeing she looks at the sensu shield, which is still spinning on Delvin's outer hand. It might be some sort of lodestone. A lodestone that massive, perhaps, or maybe something, a stone. Our initial thoughts were maybe something involving ley lines, perhaps. He looks at Kasai, being the literal druid. Well, I guess not anymore, but you know what I mean.
The closest
With
we
this, yeah, with this track of anything for you. There are large stones in the north. Some people describe them as the ruins of a giant civilization. Astoria, they call it. What happened to it? There are many stories what happened to it. Some say the giant gods left and took it with them. Others say it was destroyed and ruined. Some say it was on the earth. Some say it is in volcanoes. Some say it was in sky. There's no one story for it.
Could it have been in all of those places?
I do not know. I'm not versed with giants. But this stone, he looks at you. It was smooth. Yes? Or at least unmanufactured.
Correct, to the touch.
Then I doubt it would be the remnants of a giant civilization. Unless the Earth took it back.
It might have. It was. Could Nessie give us an approximate size to the distance that we know, at least? Like how big this fucking rock could have been?
You guys had a much more gradual slope. Again, you guys didn't ever plummet into the earth. You guys were always crawling at a very gentle, or I guess sometimes it changed, but more or less gentle angle. So probably just shy of 1,000 feet into the earth, plus the 60 up top.
And we couldn't see, like, did the rock seem to just keep going past where we stopped?
Yes.
For lack of a better term? Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys saw seeing like the tip of the iceberg, so to speak.
It was at least 1,000 feet and seemed to not have any intent on stopping, so very unique rock.
There is a potential that Margin United had a hand in it.
Maybe. Could have someone.
It's something to
go on.
It's something to ponder for later.
Yes.
At the very least, we know it is a magical stone capable of some intent. He gestures at you. Please continue.
Before we woke up from the dream, went and found the stone. Turns out it was next to an access point that Anushka had found the previous day.
Were there any markings on the stone?
Not to my recollection. Like we said, it was like smooth to the touch. Although to be fair, I didn't exactly search.
Could it be an obelisk? A massive one at that.
An obelisk to what?
No idea.
For all we know, it could be the Dreaming City.
Don't say that. Please don't say that. I really don't want to go underground.
Do you have claustrophobia?
No, I have survival instinct. I know that might be hard for some of us to consider, having a default sense of survival, but, you know, getting into the earth is not why I don't think it's conducive to survival. Versus, I don't know, walking around in the air and sunlight.
True. Going down in those tunnels could have collapsed at pretty much any moment, so I get what you're saying on that.
The risk was taken, and it had its rewards, I assume.
It did. When I tried to commune with the stone, I had a vision. seemingly the last imprinted moments from a cataclysmic event. It was what happened to the village, roughly. It seemed to have been the center point of some spell, she says, looking at Tolas. I don't know if alchemy would count as spells.
It's a ritual based out of alchemy.
Right.
Based out of alchemy, what do you mean? And she begins to draw the symbol, and I think I posted it here before, but I'm just gonna repost it.
Might as well.
Where the fuck is it?
With the kiss emoji.
Yes!
Gotta kiss your home.
There
Good
it is
night.
again.
Good morning.
Yeah, so
girl,
Tolas begins to
girl,
draw
girl.
out this symbol and lay it on the table. It's an alchemical symbol. Something fit for the Philosopher's Stone. She looks across the table to see who recognizes that terminology. Amber
Does
doesn't need to
Alice
roll.
know?
She knows automatically what it is.
Would Silas have heard anything?
Roll background information, and while you're at it, roll me investigation.
Okie doke.
It is site-based.
Oh!
In fact, it is utterly site-based.
Damn.
Can I roll a background as well?
Sure.
Alright, and investigation. Vantage.
Would Morgan be able to help anybody with their rolls? I don't think I'd be able to roll
No.
myself. Okay, fair enough.
So let's go to the backgrounds first. Let's start lower than higher. So
Fred-
Shadar,
I was gonna say he rolled before I could say it, but I was gonna give a bardic to someone. So fair enough if I can't give it to him, but
I'll allow it.
okie doke.
So
D8.
Fred, yeah, add a D8.
Could break 20.
You guys wouldn't
roll.
have your guidances, but you could add this.
Still could break 20.
Okay, so you got back to where you were there.
You got that
Thank
plus
you.
2 champion.
Alchemy, Alex. Nod.
Alchemy.
There you go. So let's start at 17 and 18. You guys are pretty close. Alchemy.
You burnt out my house!
You burned my house down to the ground!
Anyways, so you guys are pretty close. So I'm just gonna give you guys relatively same information.
Fair.
And I'll highlight where it would be specific to you. So, the Philosopher's Stone. You guys have heard about it, and you guys have probably heard the most fantastic. You guys have heard the results of it, the most fantastical things about it, right? This is a stone that could bring people back from the dead. It could turn water to wine and vice versa. It could turn an entire object gold if you fucking want to, right? It can make you immortal, right? It has so many magical, fantastical elements that transcend normal rules of magic, and you know it to be a byproduct of, alchemy, which has this underlying magical or preternatural, supernatural nature, but is not outright spell casting. It plays on its own different capabilities. So you guys know that. I will highlight for you, Sajar. You probably have heard a lot of alchemists pursuing the Philosopher's Stone.
That's what I was thinking.
Shit, man. I could turn lead into gold. I could sell the secrets of immortality to any schmuck with enough coin. Da-da-da-da-da, right? You probably have heard a lot of, in a sort of get-rich-slow scheme sort of person pursuing alchemy for this purpose, and people employed to chase this purpose. Like you're being paid to make the atom bomb? Well, in technicality, in theory, the Philosopher's Stone could be that atom bomb, right? That's how powerful it is, right? Some people research it for money, immortality, weaponize it, the works, right? Whereas Silas, you've heard of the Philosopher's Stone because there are many people that pass through the Heartlands that claim to have one. And in fairness, they might have some magical stone. That's not the thing. But to the fantastical heights that the legends that make it out to be, no, there's no way those are Philosopher's Stone or the legends are wrong. And unfortunately to say, the legends are usually more right than the people claiming to have it. So, So yeah, you guys know the Philosopher's Stone. I'm gonna roll for Kasai. I actually don't know if Kasai would or wouldn't, because it definitely is like such an amazing thing, and the Nevros people are much more steeped in how to say, mundane alchemy, like day-to-day use alchemy, versus like provincial
like
alchemy is like,
toxins and antitoxins.
yeah, whereas provincial alchemy is like, we're going on an adventure, we're going to war. Like, we need alchemy now.
We're going to war.
I think Varric would also know that.
Makes sense.
Oh, I GM rolled it. She got a 25 plus 2, but she didn't get the plus 2.
Trust it.
So, yeah, I would say Vaso has heard some legends about it. Zol has no fucking clue what it is. America has heard about it. Toas knows what it knows of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Amber knows it. Varric knows it. Altani has heard a weaponized based story of it.
Of course she has.
Yeah,
Just put it in the pommel of your sword.
Actually, here, I'll roll this like randomly, like a D100.
If Haver gets a 20, it's because Owen told her.
Yeah, no, absolutely, but no, I guess it didn't get covered. In fairness, they're going to like current events. But yeah, so like you and Toles describe like it's meant to be like symbol of the Philosopher's Stone. Everyone, a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people go, oh.
Apparently, I
Wait,
was the only one
Toddy
that didn't know
slaps her
what that
hands
was.
down. Wait, the Philosopher's Stone? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, I always
Right.
heard it as the Philosopher's Sword.
That sounds cool.
Well,
It does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be beyond its capabilities, though. The Philosopher's Stone supposedly has, according to stories, a lot of different forms. Some say it's stone, and others say it's liquid. Amber immediately frowns as Toles cuts her off. Yeah.
It also explains why the area is apparently more rich in Oh, what was the crystal from the reports? Shit. I always forget how to pronounce it. It's something citrine. It's
Sanguine?
Sanguine?
sanguine citrine? That sounds right? Yeah. A sanguine citrine. Apparently there's an abnormal amount of that in that area, and considering the alchemical
I'm
implications,
gonna
it might be
say,
something.
I'm gonna do you a solid and say Vaso says it for you. It's Arteria Citrine.
Arteria citrine. I'm gonna
Or
write
So
that
you
down.
describe like the stone that grows underground, and Vaso, having also read the reports, just goes Arteria Citrine.
I am so glad there are people to fill in my gaps of knowledge in this group. Oh my god.
We all have gaps in knowledge, Morgan. That's to be expected. And is relying upon each other and trusting one another that makes it count. Okay, so you saw this symbol on your village?
Yes, it was
Are you a
activated.
Oh, Amber, I was like, are you? No, there's no fucking way you're a walking Philosopher's Stone. You get beat up too much.
We discussed that. We'll get to that in a minute, but we'll get to that. The vision, it activated. They were screaming, and the village seemed to sink beneath the earth. And that was pretty much everything with that vision. I took a hell of a migraine, but we learned that that's what happened. We decided to delve deep.
I totally forgot.
Yes.
Silas's investigation roll.
Oh,
shit.
fuck, right. I forgot too. I
We
got
all
19.
forgot. Run it back.
Do you have an idea?
Do I have
Do you have an idea? I thought that's what you just said. No?
No, I said
I
I
thought-
got a 19. Sorry.
Oh, 19. Okay. I will
But
give
now
you
that
a-
you asked that. Sorry, go ahead.
I will give you a hintity hint.
One hinty
Mhm.
hinted.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's what I was
wasn't it?
thinking.
Or was that something else?
That's what I was thinking.
How interesting. Although you do note the opposite polarization of the triangle.
Indeed.
How interesting.
Says will, assuming we're still like at a table or something.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
Says
You gotta
is
have
gonna-
all important meetings at a table. Like, come on.
Obviously.
Yes.
Says will try and draw it in their notebook underneath the table.
It's literally like a bunch of circles in a triangle, so you do it pretty fast.
Think of the
Yeah,
statue.
but like, for yeah, don't worry about it.
Do we catch the cat being sneaky?
Do you?
I mean, it doesn't sound like you made an over effort to hide it, as opposed to just do it underneath the table.
I mean, you interrupted me, but I was gonna say that they would try and do it semi-secretly. they're not gonna be heartbroken if people see, but they're clearly not. If they weren't gonna be secret about it, they would just put it on the table.
Roll stuff at disadvantage.
Sure.
Okay, that's higher than passive. My passive. Alice Sanders.
I know Alice Sanders sees it. I know that.
I forgot about that. It's mostly I just remembered. It's like
so Silas made a roll, so everyone else can make a roll if you're so interested.
Yeah.
Alessander sees passively and just. Jesus Christ, dude.
You enter my story with doodles?
Yeah.
Morgan
I'm
has to
you
roll
being
just to
sad
get a-
underground. All right, fuck you. Kidding.
Alessander has this very valuable information to contribute.
I'm schizophrenic and have a gun.
You have
It's
not
so
lived
weird
your
having a
use of this.
sound bite of him. But yeah, Morgan, you see that Silas is doodling something, and as like you sort of lean, not like fully, like very obtusively, but you lean and you see a symbol similar but different.
Yeah, she just kind of like leans back in her chair a little bit.
Like they're drawing
and
the
sees that.
symbol that was sent in company chatter, not the other one.
Mm,
The alchemist one.
right. You're copying the symbol that was presented.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what's caught your interest?
It's an interesting symbol.
Why are you being sneaky?
I mean, I didn't want to stop you from telling your story, but clearly it did anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Roll deception and roll insight, respectively.
One whole insight, por favor, don't suck horribly.
I'm gonna cutting words that.
You're gonna need to.
I don't know if you could even win
Yeah,
still. You got
minus
an 8.
it would be 16 plus 1, and yours is 15 plus 1.
Oh, you added a thing to it. Sorry, I didn't realize.
No. You're okay.
I didn't look at the second. I haven't been looking at the second number for a while. Then never mind.
Silas sus.
Sounds very sus.
Sus
Considering
less.
last
As Silas learned.
night. Susless.
So less.
Silas.
What have you been up to recently, anyways?
That's something that I, as need not, don't entirely
answer.
know. Yeah,
Ooh.
so
Before you go too far down the rebel, before we continue interrogations, please finish out the report.
Looks at him, looks at Silas. It's like, fair, we're in the middle of it. We delve into the crevasse. We go down. And there's a schizophrenic man with a gun.
howdy.
Howdy doody.
Well,
There you go.
you cut out so bad. We were just.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
that's probably just Discord booting up.
Yeah, I forget Discord does that whenever you first join a. Whenever I
Yeah,
first join
needs
a-
to warm
first-
up.
Anyway, I'm schizophrenic and have a gun, etc.
He has a point. He is schizophrenic and has a gun.
I have both of these things. A man can have two things. Don't I interrupt.
You didn't interrupt. I interrupted with you. You're a tool for my interruption.
I am a tool.
Anyhow, so we go down the tunnels. It's uneventful on the way down, thankfully. Up until it became very eventful, and we saw something red and goo adjacent on the wall. Anushka identified as a sort of slime kind of creature.
And that's
when
never a
we
good sign.
normally no, in this case, weirdly yes.
Normally, no. What do you mean normally no?
Wait,
So this is
sorry, I had this
unnormal-
backwards.
Wait, so-
Normally he's right. Normally he is right. That's not a good sign. Under this case, it's a good thing.
So normally yes, but now unnormally no. When you mean unnormally no?
Do people normally identify as slimes? Am I here, by the way?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Everyone is assembled in the common room, like a war council or operation table sort of style. So everyone is here, and they're debrief. Solomus was already debriefed with them, and this is Morgan debriefing what happened with her village.
Schizophrenia. Okay, look, it is easier to just explain what happened than to get into the semantics of this. So, anyways, we get closer to the slime, kind of trying to just figure it out. We detect that it can sense things around it. It does sense us. In hindsight, getting close to it was probably very dangerous, considering we could not escape if it decided to attack us. But that's the point.
Wait. Hold up. Before you go, whose idea was it to get closer?
I think it was like a unilateral decision. To be fair.
Roll a deception check.
That's code for her. It was her decision.
Morgan will take the blame because honestly, I can't determine.
then roll deception with advantage. It was Tolus's idea.
It was Tolus's idea. Okay.
Ah.
Skip
Good luck.
that. Holy shit, that's good.
Oh my
her name
God!
again?
Oh. Well, the
You
third-
do believe your words, but you also know, like, Tolus was the impetus for it. Even though you guys agreed to it, it was in the
Yeah.
end a unilateral decision. You cannot deny who started it. But nothing
Yeah.
needs to be said as Amber just sort of quirks an eyebrow and gets a smirk on her face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Validate
think
my
it's-
bias, please.
I think it's like towards the end of that, Morgan kind of comes to that realization herself because Garth didn't really remember. It's like, I mean, I suppose it was a start, but that's for the case of this, I think probably irrelevant. Ignoring Amber's confirmation bias. We approached it, and its name is Sean. Because
Its
ahead,
name
You
is
named it?
if you stop every single time I say something wild, it's gonna take like 5. Just roll with it. It gets fucking weirder. Genuinely.
not above.
Which Morgan is a combination of stressed and like excited when she is telling this. I'm just like, it's super fucking weird, but like kind of good.
She whispers to you, Sajar. Amber whispers to you, Sajar. Are we sure this is the real her?
At this point, I don't know.
She was replaced by the goo.
That's
That's what she
looks at
suggested.
what happened to almost happened to us in Thursday game.
Yeah.
Okay.
We-
All right. Keep going.
It manifests ahead, and it starts to talk to us. We learn its name is Sean, and we learn vaguely of what happened to, well, not vaguely, we learned what happened to the village of when the alchemical symbols activated. Anyone inside the area, well, was turned into that. Just a sentient slime. They seem docile and
I'm sorry. With the
uh-huh.
what conscience, the sentience of whoever they used to be, the memories.
They seem perfectly there and sentient and everything. The only oddity with them is that they're how do I
Now
describe it?
slimes.
They're now slimes.
Did they have to eat anything? Half an ass.
Not from what I could tell, no. It's
Huh.
weird. Yeah. It's weird going off the Philosopher's Stone and an idea that was presented of an alternative name of it being a perfect body. To a strange degree, they kind of are. They don't need to eat. They don't need to sleep. But they're slow. They don't really have their own motivations, but that's more a different issue than the alchemists.
In technicality, lass, one might say my body, or lack thereof, is the perfect body.
That is true. Well, aside from drinking, you can't drink that much.
Only
He
if-
pulls out his ghost storm and
Yeah.
drinks it in front of you to flex. You could try to fucking take this from me, but you ain't.
Morgan chuckles at that. It's like, okay, point proven.
Okay, so it's a failed Philosopher's Stone attempt. Amber like shrugs, like, yeah.
Effectively.
depends on what you consider a failure.
I guess.
For what Skull was aiming for, I imagine it was a failure.
So what happened with Sean?
He led us into the town, where we met many other slimes, about, what was the size of the town? Maybe around 150 people? Well, people, quotation marks. He led us down a staircase, which I found very odd, so I imagine it was already there, down into the town itself. When we were there, we talked to him about the town and its history. It never really worshipped any gods, fellow true, because I had a protector, a sentinel. Upon questioning, yes.
I find that very hard to believe. A Twinsian town with no deity. I thought the same thing too, Vatic, but, well, I think the Watcher, she told us just ushers for you to continue.
There's a reason. I had my own suspicions, so I wanted to follow up with this sentinel that they mentioned, this Watcher. Turns out Sean's wife had interacted with them to a small degree, so she pauses, thinking about the fucking insanity of her next few sentences. We followed the slime man to his humble abode, where we met his slime wife, and I shook her hand in a cordial manner.
It always
You
pays
what?
to be. It always pays to be courteous.
To be fair, she was quite a lovely person. Just the slime part was a bit odd.
Oh, it's not. It's like she's really nice.
Slime wife.
What in the...
Varric just holds up a hand. You said there was more, so please continue. We can get this all out of our systems at one
Yeah.
fell swoop afterwards.
You'll digest it all at once.
Yep, that's the best way to approach this. We talked to her after hearing of her accounts of a time when she was a child and was almost killed by a monster. She saw this sentinel, this watcher individual, presumably murder it because it was decapitated and run off. After showing her Scavola's main sources of weaponry, she confirmed that one of them was hers, her karambits. So it's not 100%, but it's a 95% chance of it being her. They were also pretty much self-sufficient. The only time they interacted with the outside world was from traders, which, again, not 100%, but I'm confident in saying it was just her in disguise, providing them with any supplies that she deemed them needing. So the entire place is just an experiment, a pool controlled by her for her designs.
Oh my god.
Yep. We even found markings on different buildings that seem to be referring to shops or residents, and then number of residents, as if they were cattle.
Oh my
That is kind of fucked up.
Kind of. More than
What
bit.
the fucking hell is wrong with your village? Oh, I'm sorry. I've been like holding him back this whole time, but that's like the. Oh my god! He's like putting his hands to the back of his head, like grabbing his hair and like doing pacing back and forth.
So, this Sean gentleman, he took you home, introduced him to his wife, and did you speak to any other denizens of the village? I assume they were all of similar.
Was there a leader
Yeah.
amongst them?
I
A
asked if
slime
there was
leader.
a sleader, even.
Shut up!
I'm sorry. It's how I'm dealing with the wildness of the situation with a shitty joke.
Pick a different coping mechanism.
Might I
It's obvious
suggest
my
copium?
We did ask if there was an
Continue.
elder. There didn't seem to be any sort of leader. Mostly, if I had to take a shot, they simply didn't need one. They didn't need to sleep. They didn't need to eat. They didn't have really any desires or motivations, so they existed. They simply did what they wanted. I don't know if we would know about bacteria, but she would probably equate it to like microbes or bacteria that just kind of exist and around.
You know, you would know as a non-medically trained person, as a soldier that went through the Scholastica program, having dirty hands, have say mud or shit or whatever, and interacting with wounds usually kills the person on a much more considerable level.
Ooh,
Right.
Right? There's
She
like a
would know she could
general,
clean.
contrary to popular opinion, there was a general germ theory Like
Right.
not like this century old. Like it's been around for a while. It's just that it was never popularized.
Yeah.
Oh, if I shit on this steak and then stab someone with it, they're gonna die. whether it's
Exactly.
A
right or
lot
not.
quicker.
Like people know that,
Oh.
right? So I guess you would say in this world, germ theory did not take as long to proliferate. Haha, germ
Right.
joke.
Thank God.
To like
The germ
become
guys.
popularized, right? So germ theory